Manchester City have now won 18 Premier League games in a row. As far as the top 5 European leagues is concerned, he's beaten the record that Barcelona had of 16 where he was manager, and he's chasing the record that Bayern Munich hold from October 13 to March 14 when he was manager. Is this a side, Shay, that we're now seriously talking about going the rest of the season unbeaten?
Very easily done. I mean, they just look so far ahead of the rest of the teams. There's streets ahead of everyone else. But I do think the Guardiola and even the Man City players will not be thinking too much about that. I think they'll be thinking more about titles, one in the Premier League, you know, trying to win the Champions League, trying to win an FA Cup, trying to win as many trophies as they can. And if they lose a game but won all them trophies, I'm sure they would swap that. The most important thing is come the end of the season that they've got lots of silverware to show from it. And with Guardiola in charge, you know, I can't see anything else, at least, but winning the league now, of course. And who knows how far they can go in the Champions League as well. If
there is a downside for Manchester City, it's another injury to Vincent Kompany. You know, he's only been playing in a couple of games before he's injured again in this one. Started a couple of games.
It's been going on for a long time now, and it's got to the stage, unfortunately, for Vincent Kompany, where Pep Guardiola can't rely on him, really. And it's sad, really, because he's been one of the great centre-backs we've seen in the Premier League era. I think at his absolute peak, he was good as anyone in world football, I would say, at that stage. And the fact that the player most like him now in the Premier League has actually moved today. And
in Virgil van Dijk?
Yes, Van Dijk's moved. Big price tag. Listen, pleased he's gone to Liverpool, of course, but he's a player I look at and I think if you're Manchester City, he looks like the sort of carbon copy of Vincent Kompany was, that sort of powerhouse, great physique, height, pace, can deal with anything physically within the Premier League. And I just find it strange that, listen, maybe Liverpool obviously had the deal done in the summer, couldn't get it done. Why City maybe, I don't know, maybe outbid Liverpool, or could they have got him? Because it's the one area where I think it's not going to cost him in the Premier League centre-back, but it may cost him in the Champions League. You think of, is Mangala the real quality? Kompany, as I said, unfortunately, you can't rely on him. John Stones is out at the moment, he's had a great start to the season. And Otamendi, a player who we sort of criticised a bit when he first came in, didn't look like he was up to it, is actually their main centre-back now, and best centre-back. One, because he's fit all the time. And going forward, could that area of the pitch cost them? And there was talk of them at the start of the season putting a big bid in for Sanchez, another attacking player. Could they go for him again in January? I don't know. I just looked at it and thought, if you're Pep Guardiola, you do everything you can to get Van Dijk, but he's gone to Liverpool, but he looks the one now who could be the new Vincent Kompany, because we are talking about one of the best centre-backs we've seen.
And as an aside, Manchester City's record signing is still 54 million, which is some way short of the 75 that we're expecting Liverpool to pay for Virgil van Dijk. But are you surprised they didn't try harder to get him? We assume that if City want a player, they can go in and blow everyone out
I mean,
the water.
I feel sorry for Vincent. You see the pictures. I've played with Vincent, of course, in Man City, and you see him, how frustrated he is. He's a ultimate professional. He's in the gym. He does everything by the book. And as Jamie says, the last couple of years, it's difficult for the club to rely on now, because he's just this calf problems. It seems there must be an underlying problems. It could be from his back or whatever, but the bigger issue is that they do need cover in that position more so than anywhere else. They're linked with Johnny Evans, I think, in the summer as well, towards the end of the window. But they must have other targets. They have to have other targets, come January. And the good thing about Man City, they have the finances to go out and get whatever centre-half Guardiola wants.